Hello. I've chosen to review New England Invite Feasts, Fresh Feast, Savor the Seasons by Kate Bowler. I chose this because it feels very personal to me. My mom grew up in New England, so all the flavors and traditions in this book remind me a lot of what I grew up eating at family holidays and Sunday brunches and family dinners. So, the author of this book, Kate Bowler, she's not classically trained as a chef, but she's a lifestyle blogger who's been featured in Better Homes and Gardens and Family Circle. And her writing is very down to earth and welcoming. Her purpose of this book is to make hosting feel doable. Not like a Pinterest performance, but something an everyday person can do. Her dedication is to her mother, and it says, "To my mom, who taught me there's always room for one more at the table, even if it means ordering pizza." So the whole purpose of her book is to encourage hospitality. This particular cookbook is actually really unique in the way that it's organized. It's organized by season, and then within each season, there's three different menu options for different events that you can host. So, for example, we have a spring garden luncheon menu, or Christmas Eve, or family game night, different things like that. And I think it's just to show that this book isn't just about what to cook, but it's how to gather people in a way that's meaningful and approachable. For this dish, I chose to follow Boulder's recipe for an Italian sausage breakfast strata. I grew up eating breakfast casseroles and breakfast stratas my entire childhood, and while this recipe is a little bit different than what I grew up eating, it's very similar and it contains the same values and hospitality feeling. Her cookbook is built around the value of hospitality, comfort, ease, and a sense of gathering, and this dish perfectly represents that. This recipe overall was very easy for me to follow as I've made this kind of dish numerous times before. However, it was different in the fact that it contained pesto and Italian sausage, which is a combination I've never thought to try before. And so it was interesting to see the difference between what Bowler represented of a breakfast strata than what I thought of when I used to make it myself. So I have here my strata. I'm excited. Anyways, it smells very herby, like pesto. Crazy, almost like there's pesto in it. And it looks like like an egg casserole bake I would have eaten as a kid. In it. Okay, ready? Here we go. Pesto gives it like this nice, like deep flavor, and so it's pretty good. I would probably make it a little bit differently next time, but I tried to follow the recipe as closely as I could. In A History of Cookbooks, Henry Naudeker notes that the Jewish cookbooks served more than one purpose. They gave recipes, yes, but they also offered practical guidance for navigating life. And I think New England Invite works in the same way. It's not just a book of seasonal recipes, it's a soft spoken manual for how to host, how to pace a gathering, and how to make hospitality feel more manageable. Naudeker also writes about the balance between practical instruction and aesthetic appeal in cookbooks, and New England Invite really leans into both of these. The visuals are beautiful, bright, seasonal, and cozy, but the recipes are totally accessible, like the strata I made. It was easy to follow, it used ingredients I already had, and the result was a beautiful dish that I'd want to serve to my guests. Cooking a recipe from this book gave me more than just a recipe. It gave me a way to slow down and find joy in cooking again, something that I haven't felt in many years. It's not flashy, and that's one of its strengths. The book is an excellent example of how cookbooks don't only teach cooking, but they also shape how we live and how we gather together. So, this recipe gave me the opportunity to cook for my roommate, which was actually really great because we got to sit down and we got to eat together as almost like a family for the first time since mid May, whatever month we just came out of. And I think this book is a really great choice for both experienced hosts and people looking to start somewhere small. It offers you a seat at the table, and sometimes that's all we really need to feel at home.